Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit the subscribe button down below and do hit that little bell out beside. That way you don't miss anything here at the Big Ranch Show. Did you catch this crap that went on in the U.S. Senate last night? Well, apparently the Republicans in the Senate passed their little tax scam, and they're still claiming that this is a big tax cut for the middle class and the poor and not for the wealthy, and that is the biggest line of crap they've ever fed anybody. This is a bigger line of crap than Obama saying you can keep your damn doctor. Donald Trump keeps saying this is such a great tax plan. The Republicans keep saying it's a great tax plan. All it does is cut taxes for the very top. The CBO has already said that it will not cut taxes for over 1 to 2/3 of the middle class. Most of the middle class will see a tax increase because they are going to be losing tax incentives, different tax rebates that they were getting beforehand. Thank God they left the child tax credit. One of the few things that has come out of Republican that I thought was a good idea. Thank God they kept that. But they're cutting roughly $4,000 in tax rebates and stuff like that people could cut from their tax liability, and replacing it with roughly $1,900. So basically they're saying you're going to get a tax cut, but they're not telling you that they're taking away your other tax rebates and stuff like that. So $4,000 in cuts from programs or tax rebates and tax incentives that help cut the tax liability for the middle class and the poor, and replacing it with $1,900. I think it's $1,999 to be exact. So roughly $2,000. That's a $2,000 tax increase for 1/3 to 2/3 of the middle class, according to the CBO. Also, according to the CBO, if the reconciled bill turns out to have the same deficits that it's projected to have, and that the Senate bill, even though it was just written, is going to have to be reconciled with a bill that already has roughly $1.4 trillion in extra deficits. Not only is that going to happen, because of the sequestration cuts that we were put into law back in like 2012, 2013, as soon as the debt explodes, which it will, the CBO has already basically guaranteed, if this bill passes and these tax cuts are put into law the way they are, if it's anything like that in the House, the deficits will skyrocket, adding $1.4 trillion to our yearly deficits. And they think Bill Clinton and Barack Obama added lots of stuff to the debt. Good God, what do you think you're going to do? Add $1.4 trillion on top of the already $1.1 trillion that we run deficits yearly. What happened to fiscal responsibility, Republicans? For 8 years, you spent railroading President Barack Obama simply because you didn't like him. But you kept saying, oh no, it's not race, or we don't hate the president. No, no, no. This is all about fiscal responsibility. And now that you control everything, where's the fucking fiscal responsibility? Oh, that's right. You never cared about fiscal responsibility. All you cared about was the skin color of the person in office. And you prove it more and more every dang day. But I have some good news for you, for people out there in the world, in America. A blue wave is coming. The Democrats have a serious chance at taking back the House this time around, even with all the gerrymandering that has gone on. Why? Because of crap like this. This is at least the 5th bill that they have tried to force through Congress via reconciliation that they didn't even write until an hour or two before it would hit the floor. And why does the Senate do that? Why? The reason is, if they can force it out just an hour or two before, the CBO can't score it. The CBO doesn't have time to score it. Therefore, they can pass it, and the constituents don't know shit about it. The constituents don't find out until months or, almost till tax time. Oh, crap. They raised my taxes. And then you got Donald Trump tweeting the Democrats just want massive tax increases. Who's the one passing the massive tax increase? You are, Donald J. Trump. You are. You and your GOP cronies are going to screw this country over. You are screwing over the poor, the middle class, and small business owners in this country. And your little tax plan proves it. All you have to do is read the damn thing, but I know Donald Trump can't read. So, I don't know what else to do about this stuff. All we can do is fight and fight and fight through this reconciliation process. Hope the Democrats come up with a plan that can come in, that they can reconcile, put into this reconciliation plan, like Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut was talking about. Maybe we can figure out something to at least lessen the damage. But you want to know what's going to happen in this cut, with these cuts? A $25 billion immediate cut to Medicare as soon as our deficit hits a certain point based on sequestration. A $5 million cut, or a $5 billion cut to Medicaid. A massive cut to Social Security. Your Social Security checks are going to be cut in half, people. They're going to be cut in half because of this crap. And Republicans are already talking about, if the deficits start to get out of control, we'll come back and cut entitlements. First off, Medicare is not a damn entitlement. People paid for their Medicare. Their Social Security is not an entitlement. Their Social Security they paid for. Cutting entitlements. Who's acting like the entitled pricks now? That's right, the rich Republicans, who sat there and cried and whined to the GOP, we're not going to donate money to you anymore if you don't get these freaking tax cuts through. Massive tax cuts that are going to create no jobs, and it's only going to hurt the poor, middle class, and small businesses. Thank you for watching. Watch this space, and I'll see you down the road.